Good evening, Santosh. How are you?
Doing very well, thank you, Praveen.
What made you bring KDM here, and how are you associated?
Thank you for inviting me on this. KDM is the government agency that is a not-for-profit that brings and connects businesses, investors, and the market. And it's a very unique model that Karnataka state offers because that kind of public-private partnership is a very rare phenomena. And we're seeing some spectacular results coming out of Karnataka on account of that. Where we come into the picture is that KDM enables a lot of the touch points in terms of facilitating and enabling incentives and benefits that can come to the industry folks. After that, we fill the picture by enabling the fulfillment process. So you get incentives as a business, you get all the benefits, but what do you do after that? How do you operationalize and implement everything that you need to do, right? That's where Micro-Grafio comes to the picture. Micro-Grafio means small offices. We help companies set up from soup to nuts, whatever is required, from a tier 1 city, tier 2, tier 3, all through a single contract. We were awarded the Social Impact Organization 2 consecutive years because we believe that anybody who has to go to work in India should not travel more than 15 minutes. And if you can get your office within 15 minutes, then the productivity and the collective energy that you can see in a nation like India is going to be, quantum leap. So that's the reason why we are working very closely with governments, and KDM is a shining example of it because Karnataka is in the pole position, and I think with our relationship with them, we're going to be showing a lot of the models how it can work very effectively.
So can we understood from the infrastructure point of view, and beyond that, you will be helping all the companies who come there into the tier 2, tier 3 cities?
Yes. So one of the things that's happening is that the COVID as a phenomena has accelerated this need to take offices now to the smaller towns, because the hybrid model of coming to Bangalore and spending a lot more money is not exactly required because there's a lot more talent now. As it is, I would think, and don't quote me on this data, but I would think 60 to 70% of the tier 1 talent invariably comes from tier 2 and tier 3. So it's a good opportunity for us to de-urbanize, focus Bangalore for the metro that it's meant to be, and then be able to enable a lot more growth and lateral movement within, because India is just not going to be a 10-city nation. It's going to be hundreds of cities, and they're all going to be smart, right? So we want to enable that and be part of that whole social impact.
Great that, Santosh. And tell us about your space, right? So what is your scalability, how big you are, what is the volume, and more to the audience so that they understand who you are.
Great question, yes. So we started out in 2021, and in a very short time, in the last 18 months, we've garnered 54 customers, actually it's 60 customers now. We've got a few more in last week. And we opened up 225,000 square foot of office spaces, enabled a little over 1,500 employment, and we've grown into about 36 centers in 22 cities. That's been our footprint. And so it's a very encouraging trajectory for companies to understand, regardless of the size, if you're looking for a small back office where you need a few proposal writers, a few recruiters, a few accounting people, to a facility which houses 100 or 150 highly specialized technical or R&D kind of skills. We run the data behind, and we'll tell you and recommend which is the best city for you to scale and kind of come up with your distributed office network.
Great work, Santosh. Any expansion internationally?
Well, the international part of it is really about developing the market as it relates to business development, so we can create the awareness for companies who want to have a piece of India. Right? And India is demonstrating a level of determination and stability that is not visible in many of the other nations in this current context. So anybody who wants to have a piece of India, we are enabling that for the global audience.
Absolutely.
That's our international.
Very nice thought, Santosh. So last question, how did you come into this business? What's your background?
Oh, my background. Well, I've been into media and I've been into organization development consulting, and I've worked very closely with the industry on the corporate side as well as the public sector side. So here was an opportunity for me to be part of the India growth story and to work with a government that, or work with multiple governments to go into the hinterland of India, right, into the inner regions of India. And it's something that's very close to my heart, and I think Micro has all the pieces that come together that I've been wanting to be a part of for a while.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you to you and Micro, and good luck for it.
Of the KDM on the left hand side, which is IT, ITS, GCC, BPM. Growth is revenue, increase that growth. Find out the industries to make sure that they're happy. Go a little bit more deeper on the IT side. The latest words in the market in AI, 31,000 talent pool that we have. This is the leading hub of the AI in the India. I'm very happy and very proud of you. In one day, I got 20 companies signing a letter of interest and saying, I want to set up my operations in Belgavi, only on EV and drone, and coming from north and south of the country as well. This is the power of when you show the capability and prove it on the ground, then people come up and say, hey, I want to be part of you. And I want you, the table that you're sitting right now, please think about these statistics, please think about these numbers, and think about your business. No other than India, no other than state Karnataka. Let me do the next slide here. Why we are so good? There's something good in this. What are the secret sauce of Karnataka? My first of all, fourth question is that, we are here at roadshows, you've seen this part, right? Any first initial observation that you want to talk about of the Bangalore, your experiences, etc.?
Question is, if you go to Mysore today, traveling from Atlanta, you land in Bangalore, one of the most beautiful airports you'll ever land at. And now, there is actually how many lanes is it?
8 lanes.
8-lane highway between Bangalore and Mysore. So when I started my company initially in Mysore, it was a 2-lane highway, right? So this is the transformation, and some of you have been in Atlanta for a really long time.
People to really business value creation. So your experiences for a minute, what happened and how it happened?
Sure, thank you. I think first of all I must say that I'm sure I'm just representing many of you, if not all of you out here. So I'm just a voice for all of you. Many of you have gone through the same sort of experiences.
But yeah, I mean, this, it's so heartening to see all our friends from Thai Atlanta. So all the Thai Atlanta folks, can I have a raise of hands? Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you to Sid and the entire team for galvanizing all of us here. I'm a product of Karnataka. Mother is from Hubli. I was born there. I grew up in Bangalore. Dad is from Mysore. I studied in Mysore and I sold my first company to a Mangalore-based entity called Manipal. So all the clusters have been kind of imbibed in my journey. And of course, I now work in about 9,000 villages of Karnataka across building a rural commerce network. So the passion that Sanjeev brought to the table, I was just going through the journey of my own journey. And it's an interesting journey, startups. I don't think I knew how to spell entrepreneur way back in 2000, and I probably wouldn't have if not for the autocorrect in Microsoft Word, right? When I began my first venture in 2000, startup, entrepreneurs were on the way. The energy that you see in young people, in campuses, both engineering, non-engineering, in districts like...
We take it as a build and transfer model. We don't operate. We're not an ITS company. We build and transfer. And after we transfer, because our scale is not as big as what somebody would want to have to appoint a supporting ecosystem, like an HR person or a facilities person or somebody to manage the finance and accounts.
Good evening, Atlanta. My name is Shyam, and I've been a tech entrepreneur for the last 22 years. And I work predominantly with the state and local government, and state of Georgia is one of my biggest customers. So I come at least twice a month to Atlanta. I'm based in Pennsylvania, so I fly down. So it was up until 2 years back, I actually was thinking of starting an offshore place where I can actually get my development and things done right. So I represent mostly the startup, small to medium-sized business, and the challenges that we do. Starting a GCC, opening up a big company in India was once upon a time an idea of only people who had a lot of money, cash-rich companies, right? I mean, they are the only ones who could do it. I think that idea has come downstream now. It's all, I think anybody and everybody should be able to do it, and that's when I ventured into an emerging city in India and started it. And I had to go through a lot of challenges in the sense of, getting the right people, getting the right talent, making sure that, because first thing I tried was to do is go to the known cities, right? Like the well-known cities like Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, but that really did not make an impact on my P&L, per se, because it was expensive, and for a small business, it is hard. So that was one of the reasons I wanted to move to an emerging city, and that kind of really worked out. I was surprised to see the talent that is available, how we could actually train them in the skills that we actually use here, and how they were able to pick up, and everything just worked out right. But it took me a while before I can't say I got it right, but I'm getting there still. But only if I had met Micro Grafio's company and the founder before I actually started this journey, then I would have saved a lot of those headaches.
And probably kept your hair.
And I would have probably, I didn't have a hair even then. So that was gone long back. But, and micrography just solves every challenge that generally you would want to, that you would actually face when you actually start up a company in India. And that's exactly what we solve. It's actually a plug-and-play model where you can sit here, and that office in India would be an extension of what exactly you do here. And that's a very easy transition, right? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Santosh.
Good evening, Sid Mukherjee. Welcome to the KDEM.
Thank you.
What brings you here?
A lot of different things. One is I am originally from Mysore, so I know Mysore very well. And many of the people that are the delegates here today, such as Mr. B.V. Naidu and Mr. Sanjeev Gupta, I know them for many, many years in the past. So all of that has brought me here.
So, do you own a company in Mysore, or how are you associated there back in Karnataka?
I founded a company called SPI in Atlanta in 1994, and then we were the first 100% export-oriented unit for software in Mysore. And Mysore, because of that, became the first non-capital city to be an STPI location. And I grew the company where we had 1,500 people in Mysore and sold the company to Cognizant. So I've got deep roots in Mysore. I still own a lot of real estate. I had a tech campus which I still own and now rent out.
How do you feel the city? Apart from Karnataka, do you have any branches across India?
Right now I have sold my company to Cognizant, but prior to that I used to have offices all over India, yeah.
Mr. Mukherjee, what business you are into? Especially when you talk about software, what is a product development or services?
It was a combination of services and product, and we did it only for retail and e-commerce companies.
Thank you so much for your time. Hope you had a wonderful show.
Thank you.
Good evening, Subramaniam ji. How are you?
Great, thank you.
What brings you to the KDEM?
Yeah, this is some kind of like interesting event I heard. I just moved to Georgia last week. So I heard that there is some kind of good conference going on in Alpharetta. So I thought of like go and visit some people and see like what is happening here.
What do you do, sir?
I am the Chief Information Officer for Department of Insurance, Georgia. Mm-hmm. I took this job last week, and it is very interesting. I'm here today, and also I hear that this is a very great event going on in Alpharetta, Georgia. So I want to be a part of it. And this is a great collaboration between the America and India, especially the Karnataka. So this is a great opportunity for a lot of investors. And in both ways, like people coming from India to here, from US to India, this is really a great event.
Thank you.
Very well organized by an organization called ATEA, which is the American Tamil Entrepreneur Association. So they did a wonderful job in the past 10 years. I have been watching them. They have grown big, and also right now they are available in multiple cities in US, and this is a very great stepping stone as well as a launching pad to connect India and America.
Thank you.
Thank you, ATA.